What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Final Whistles NFL Trade Deadline Spectacular. I am Nathan Osler. This is going to be a very fun show. As you know, Danny Erb is usually alongside me, and he will be joining us in a matter of moments. He is driving right now, so he will be joining us maybe around, I would guess, maybe 2:15, 2:30ish, maybe 3 o'clock. I'm at least going to be live till 4. We're going to be live reacting until the trade deadline hits. And I will say, stuff has already happened. I am going to be doing my best to cover it all live as everything goes down, as trades come in. And let's just say, some trades have happened in the last hour. We all know about Brandon Ayuk in the offseason. That was the big trade story. Davante Adams was traded a few weeks ago. Cooper Kupp was the big story last week before the trade deadline. And now we're looking at some big trades that happened today. And there's a couple I do want to talk about. But over the last week, we had a couple of trades that did go down. We had the first one that kind of no one really cared about was Roy Robertson Harris goes to Seattle from Jacksonville. Amari Cooper was a big one. He went to the Bills from the Browns, the first guy the Cleveland Browns sold off. Davante Adams was a big one. So the Raiders became sellers and sold Davante Adams to the New York Jets for a third-round pick. That was probably the biggest name available this trade deadline come around. DeAndre Hopkins soon followed the Kansas City Chiefs, made a move after missing out on Davante Adams. He goes to the Chiefs for a fifth-round pick. It could become a fourth, so the Titans might get the fourth-round pick. Moving on, Josh Uche from the Patriots goes to the Chiefs. A linebacker, Deontay Johnson. We talked about this on Friday. It was last week. Deontay Johnson went to the Baltimore Ravens. And yeah, so he goes to the Ravens for a fifth-round pick from the Panthers. He is no longer a Carolina Panther. Cam Robinson got traded. He's an offensive tackle. He's now on the Vikings. The Jaguars looks like they're in sell mode. Baron Browning. This was today. He goes to the Denver Broncos to the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals, surprisingly to everyone, are going to be buyers this offseason. How about the Arizona Cardinals? They went out and got Baron Browning, a linebacker, to help that defense. That division is wide open. I was just watching the Pat McAfee show, and they said it perfectly. You would not expect today the Arizona Cardinals before the season started to be buyers or at least get a player to try to help them. Right now, the Cardinals in that division are in first place, and they're going to be getting some pass rush help with this one. So, and also like the Denver Broncos in this situation, I feel like they are kind of in buy/sell mode. You're selling a solid linebacker, but at the same time, I feel like the Broncos are still in a situation they could buy. The Broncos have outperformed where they are at, and we'll get to that in a little bit when we break down all these trades. Then today, the first big one, the first domino fell on today's trade deadline, Za'Darius Smith. So this went down this morning. Za'Darius Smith was the big story. Everyone was linking him to the Detroit Lions. And another guy was linked to the Detroit Lions, that would being Max Crosby. This all sparked after the Aiden Hutchinson injury. After all that went down, after Aiden Hutchinson goes out the year, the Lions fans, the NFL media is like, they need a defensive end. They need an edge rusher. And just like that, they get Za'Darius Smith today from the Cleveland Browns, who just got rid of Amari Cooper. And now they get rid of one of their better defensive guys, Za'Darius Smith, big number 99. This is now his third NFC North team. Packers, Vikings, and now the Detroit Lions. He's a franchise cornerstone caliber player, but if you're looking at him, he just can't find that home yet. So Za'Darius Smith goes to the Detroit Lions, and the Browns are only getting a 2025 fifth rounder and a 2026 sixth rounder. But the Lions are also going to be getting a 2026 seventh round pick. So this was one of the couple trades today, or a couple trades we've seen so far this deadline, that both teams are getting multiple assets. The Browns are getting 2 draft picks, while the Lions are getting 1 along with Za'Darius Smith. I think this is a huge deal for the Detroit Lions. This is a good replacement for Aiden Hutchinson, who's out. The Lions right now are a favorite out of the NFC, and this is a great move. This is a great move for a Detroit Lions squad that is a favorite in the NFC. I could say that. And other than that, I know my uncle's a big Lions fan. He texted me today. I texted him. I was like, I like that for the Detroit Lions. What are you thinking? I said, And he goes, I love it. And he was like, what do you think? I was like, well, I think it would be crazy. I think it's a great deadline, but I think it's a perfect deadline if the Lions worked a miracle and still got Max Crosby. And it's funny, a lot of Detroit Lions fans are holding out hope that they can still get a Max Crosby. Do I think that's going to happen? No, not at all. They just went out and got Zadarius Smith. I don't think Max Crosby's going anywhere this trade deadline. But you know what? If the Lions can turn a edge rush missing Aiden Hutchinson to a Zadarius Smith and Max Crosby by the end of the day, that would be pretty impressive. Do I think it happens? No, not even close. But you know what? Trade deadline happens for a reason. Shocking things will happen. Who knows? So moving on, I guess a weird one that happened today. This one was right after the Zadarius Smith one. Khalil Herbert goes from the Bears to the Cincinnati Bengals for a 2025 7th-round pick. Khalil Herbert this season, 8 rush attempts, 16 yards, and a touchdown. I don't get it. This is a weird one. They're adding a established back to be behind Zach Moss, who is out indefinitely. So I guess they needed a running back if you look at it. But it's like, The Bears are getting rid of Herbert, and now their running back core is just DeAndre Smith and Rashawn Johnson. So, yeah. So Herbert was falling out of that rotation, clearly. But, I mean, I don't know how this really helps the Bengals. I don't think Herbert is a solid option to replace a Zach Moss. I don't think he's a solid option to be your running back one. The Bengals are in a weird situation currently where they need to make a move and make it, like, they need to determine if they're going to be a contender this year or not. The Bengals have been so off and on. We've talked about it so many times on our broadcasts here where we talk about which teams you should be looking at, which teams are in trouble, which teams are whatever. And the Bengals are always a topic of consideration. They are always the one team where you're just like, I don't know what they're doing. Are they good? Are they bad? In my opinion, the offense, it's pretty good. But also, the defense kind of sucks. The defense of the Cincinnati Bengals has been very much a letdown defense. If they wanted to improve, I feel like they should have went out and traded for a defender. Now, they still have 2 hours to do so. Don't get me wrong. They still have 2 hours to do so. But do I think it happens? I don't think so. I think they're going to, I don't want to say the Bengals stay put, but they're just giving me very confusing vibes of what they are going to do today. So yeah, Khalil Herbert goes to the Cincinnati Bengals from the Bears. Now, 2 kind of decent ones happened in the last hour. And one of them is the big one. This was probably one of the prizes of trade deadline, or not, I almost said free agency, but the big prize of the trade deadline, Marshon Lattimore. So the New Orleans Saints have completely collapsed. They have fallen off a cliff from 2-0 now to 2-7. They have now lost 7 games in a row. That cannot happen if you are the New Orleans Saints. Fans were really hyped about them. They were 2-0, undefeated, and then they lose 7 in a row. So the New Orleans Saints also just fired their head coach, Dennis Allen, on Monday. So that's yesterday, that is. That is a big topic of discussion. So then they trade their key corner, Marshon Lattimore. They also are trading a 2025 5th-round pick to the Commanders. And the Jets are going to be getting a 2025 3rd round. Actually, no, the Saints. I don't know why it says the Jets on CBS. That's kind of weird. But the Saints are going to be getting a 2025 3rd-round pick, a 2025 4th-round pick, and a 2025 6th-round pick. So you traded your corner for a 3rd, 4th, and a 6th in the upcoming draft. I mean, it's not that bad of a trade. The Commanders are also getting the Saints 2025 5th-round pick, so they are taking that one as well. But yeah, this is good draft compensation for Marshon Lattimore if you are on the Saints side of things. But at the same time, the Commanders are definitely in complete buy mode. What a weird thing to say. The Commanders last season and years past have always been a team where everyone's like, oh, they're just going to stink. They're usually the team that's going to be like selling everyone. They're usually a team that's going to be not in buy mode. They are never in contention. This year happens. Jaden Daniels happens. Terry McLaurin is having a really good year as a wide receiver right now for them. And it's like the rookie has changed the mentality of the Washington Commanders. You got to love it. And you know what? As an outside of the Washington fan base looking at, I am not a Commanders fan, looking at that fan base right now, they are celebrating the heck out of this. They're like, we actually got a key piece at the trade deadline. We are making a run for this. They are making a run for the NFC East. The Cowboys, they stink this year. They have been one of the most underwhelming football teams this season in the NFL. The Giants, they stink this year. They are not getting anywhere close to a playoff spot, in my opinion. The Eagles right now are the Commanders' only competition. And you know what's funny? When you look at the schedules usually every year, they usually split at least. Or the Commanders sometimes will give the Eagles the trouble. The Commanders can easily win the NFCs. They can make a run. Do I think they can make a run to a Super Bowl? I don't think so, because the rookie QB he's not going to have the playoff experience. But this type of move, Marshawn Lattimore, is a big one for the Washington Commanders. The Saints completely fell off a cliff. They go from 2-0 to 2-7. Who knows? Maybe some other guys get traded. I think a surprising name to get traded, but they were talking about on the McAfee show a little bit when it brought up Taysom Hill. Now that would be an interesting name. He can play QB, tight end. He can run the ball. He can basically do everything. Super utility knife. I think a contending team could be all over that, but I'm not going to speculate because I don't know anything. I don't have any insiders. I'm just live reacting to this. And then one that happened right before I started the stream, as I keep refreshing, Mike Williams. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, as you know, Danny and I are we are Steelers fans. And it's since the offseason, the Steelers have been we need a wide receiver. We need to get a wide receiver. Who is it? Who's going to be the wide receiver that the Steelers acquire at the deadline? All offseason, it was the Brandon Ayuk saga. That fell through, and he chose the San Francisco 49ers, where he stayed, and now Brandon Ayuk's out for the season. He got a season-ending injury. Sucks to see for Brandon Ayuk. Number two, we see the Davante Adams situations go on. The Steelers are supposedly in on Davante Adams. What happens? He goes to the Jets, and his first game with the Jets is against the Steelers, and he loses. So it's funny, he goes from the Raiders, who lost to the Steelers when he was on the bench, all hurt, and then he goes to the Jets, and he loses to the Steelers again. So he lost 2 weeks in a row to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think that's kind of funny. But other than that, moving on, the next week we saw Cooper Kupp, and everyone's like, oh, Cooper Kupp, Steelers should be in on him. I don't think they were really in on him. I think he was going to cost too much. I think the Rams wanted a third-round pick. Now, who knows? The Rams have completely saved their season, in my opinion. But the Rams are confusing. I don't know where they're at right now with what they want to do with Cooper Kupp. I think he is staying. But I think there's some fans in the NFL think that he might still get moved. I don't think he's getting moved. But Cooper Kupp, not a Steeler. So they missed out on Cooper Kupp. Then we see reports over the weekend about Christian Kirk from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Steelers were looking at Christian Kirk, but then he broke his collarbone. So that trade couldn't happen. Now, the thing with Christian Kirk is they would have taken a cap hit from Christian Kirk. And that might have hurt the salary cap for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It would have been a solid upgrade over Van Jefferson being your wide receiver 2, a Calvin Austin being your wide receiver 2. Christian Kirk is a pretty decent wide receiver. I like him down in Jacksonville. I think he's really fun to watch. He would have been a decent upgrade. But as we know, the broken collarbone, that trade can't happen. So then we get to the trade deadline today. There's a certain name on a certain team that I think has also fallen off a cliff, but the way the NFC West is, they could still be in it because the NFC West is by far the weirdest division this year. The Cardinals are in first. The 49ers are struggling with all the injuries, getting their foot above the water and staying afloat. The Seahawks completely fell off, and the Rams were in last place, and now they are hovering back towards being in first. That division is completely up for grabs. I think that's a division that could take a lot of wild cards, but I don't think that's the case anymore because of the NFC North. That was my prediction going in. I thought the NFC West was going to be in contention for a lot of those, but the NFC North has taken the cake for that one. But looking at how the Rams are doing, I think the Seahawks this is the team I want to talk about here. The Seattle Seahawks are poised to be in a bad situation. They start 4-0, and now they've lost 5 in a row. DK Metcalf has been a wide receiver. People have been linking the trade rumors, and reporters are announcing today that he was not going to be moved. This was a guy that some Steelers fans I've seen in the media and other guys have linked to the Steelers. I did not think this was ever going to happen. DK Metcalf would have been cool from a fan perspective, but I got to put my thinking cap on. DK Metcalf was never going to happen. He was never going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, and it makes sense. The Seahawks still think they're in it with Geno Smith. I do not think the Seahawks are in it at all. I think they're in trouble for the rest of the season. But yeah, moving on. The Steelers then, they're in the Adam Thielen, Darius Slayton, and Mike Williams world now because now you're looking at wide receivers on smaller deals. Now you're looking at guys you missed out on DeAndre Hopkins. I would have loved a DeAndre Hopkins on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They missed out on Hopkins. They missed out on Kirk because he got hurt. They missed out on Ayuk. They missed out on other guys. I already forget half their names because they just came flying off the boards. They missed out on Amari Cooper, which probably wouldn't happen with the Browns. Missed out on Devontae Adams. Missed out on Ayuk, like I said. Missed out on D-Hop. That would have been awesome. Missed out on Christian Kirk. That would have been cool if he didn't get hurt. If people think they could have got Deontay Johnson, they can't because it's a role. You can't trade back. You can't get traded to the team you just got traded to within a year. So you're kind of stuck then. You're kind of stuck within sign a free agent, or your last attempt is to bring in a wide receiver that can maybe play decent football, that is not really the most appealing wide receiver to look at on a roster, but is a clear upgrade to what the Steelers have. I know Russell Wilson has came into the Steelers organization in these first 2 weeks. He played the Jets and the Giants, which the Giants have a pretty good defensive front. So, I mean, you're playing okay defenses. They're not awful. The Giants' defense has kept them in football games. No wonder a lot of their games have been close this year, in my opinion. The Jets as well. The offense woke up after those first 2 drives. The Jets' offense, you got to keep up with it. The Steelers' defense just shut them out the rest of the game. Russell Wilson has been able to find some of these receivers in the depth chart. Van Jefferson has seen pretty good numbers this last week. Calvin Austin just had a passing touchdown thrown to him and a punt return touchdown on Monday Night Football against the Giants last week. So those 2 guys have seen their stock surge on the Steelers depth chart. George Pickens has seen more numbers with Russell Wilson as his QB just because, and this is no slack against a Justin Fields. I love Justin Fields. I think he is the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Russell Wilson is going to just chuck the ball down the field. That is the quarterback me as a Steelers fan has been wanting to see. A guy that's just going to chuck it down the field and not care if it's a pick. He's just trying to get plays to his playmakers. George Pickens is a playmaker. We all saw the play where he somehow touched his right foot twice and didn't get his other foot down. He's the only player I can think about that has the acrobatics to do that. But you've seen so many amazing catches by George Pickens, and you're just thinking in your mind, the reason the Steelers need a wide receiver is number one priority is, what if George Pickens gets hurt? What happens? Who's wide receiver number 2? The Steelers are in a great situation. They are 6-2 right now. They are first place in the AFC North. No one expected that. No one expected that. There's people that had the Steelers winning 5 games somehow. And if you know the Pittsburgh Steelers, you should never bet on them to have a losing season. It's Mike Tomlin philosophy. They're going to be in the race every single year. They got in the playoffs last year based on this typical Steelers BS, I like to call it, type of luck, where other teams are beating themselves. Like the Jaguars had a monumental collapse last year and gave the Steelers a playoff spot. The Steelers are in a situation without getting a wide receiver until they got to one today. And you can see his name at the bottom of the screen down there. But before I say his name officially, they were in a situation where they needed a wide receiver ASAP. Because if George Pickens goes down, your wide receiver 1 on the depth chart is Van Jefferson. Calvin Austin's your number 2. And we don't know what the heck's going on with Roman Wilson. He seems to be injured, and whenever he plays, he gets 1 minute on the football field, the one game against the Raiders. You never saw him get the football or any targets. So, the Steelers needed a wide receiver. So you're going into the trade deadline, all these names are off the board. I would have loved DeAndre Hopkins. I think he was my number 1 realistic target that I was thinking of. And then you're thinking, okay, what are they going to do? You either get a free agent, which a lot of Steelers fans are you can't do that. You got to get someone that's kind of known. You got to get someone to booster this and could be a reliable wide receiver number 2. Your options practically were very razor thin. You have Mike Williams from the New York Jets. You have Adam Thielen from the Carolina Panthers. You had a couple, I think KJ Osborne from the Patriots. You had so many guys. Darius Slayton was another one for the New York Giants. And the Steelers saw the Jets and Giants these last 2 weeks. And they're in the situation where they're we need one. And it was do or die, and the Steelers made the move. They made the move right before I went live, and the move was Mike Williams. Mike Williams from the New York Jets, and it was funny, they announced it live on the Pat McAfee show when Aaron Rodgers was on. So Aaron Rodgers got to give his live opinion. And you know what? I can bring this up in a little bit when I'm going to break it down. Maybe I'll play the clip for everyone. But Mike Williams basically had some issues. Like Aaron Rodgers, him had issues. You can easily tell. This show, if you watched it before, Danny and I, we're not really pro Aaron Rodgers. We don't really like him that much. But, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But Aaron Rodgers missed Mike Williams messed up a route, I guess. He slipped. But Aaron Rodgers, that ball he threw when he called out Mike Williams was not a good ball. It was like dangling in the air, twisting like crazy. It was not a good football thrown by Aaron Rodgers, but Mike Williams is going to get all the blame because Aaron Rodgers gets all the love. He gets all the attention. The team is Aaron Rodgers' team. He fired their head coach. Sorry, I'll say it. He fired their head coach. Mike Williams is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. He gets out of that environment. Mike Williams is a better wide receiver 2 than Van Jefferson. Clearly is. He is a better wide receiver 2 than Van Jefferson. Mike Williams so far this season, I mean, he hasn't been impressive because Aaron Rodgers just isn't throwing to him that much. 21 targets, 12 receptions, that is 166 yards. 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. So he's yet to find the end zone. I think he's going to get the ball more from Russ. I think he might be a favorite target of Russ. Besides George Pickens. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to be checking my phone as well during the stream, so I'm checking my phone right now. But yeah. Sorry, I was texting. My other buddy was texting me why. He was like, why did the Steelers get Mike Williams? And I was like, we needed a wide receiver. But yeah, so the Jets, this is a weird trade. I didn't think Mike Williams was worth a pick this range. I thought the Steelers would have given up a 6th or a 7th. It's a 5th. I get it. It's 2025 5th. And there were rumors. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show. I was just watching it because I was watching for the trade deadline to see live stuff, what's going down. And he said the Steelers were talking about Adam Thielen, but they just couldn't get compensation right with the Carolina Panthers. We saw what the Carolina Panthers just did with the Cowboys. Let me pull up that trade really quick. They made a deal with the Cowboys for Jonathan Mingo, who is a 2nd-round pick. This is a weird trade because the Cowboys gave up a 4th for Jonathan Mingo of the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are also giving the Cowboys a 7th-round pick in 2025, so the next draft. But the Cowboys gave up a 4th-round pick for maybe a wide receiver 3? Because you think the Panthers gave up Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, probably your receivers 1 and 2. Xavier Legette is probably up there for a 3 or 4. Jonathan Mingo, I think this is an overpay. I mean, I didn't put his name down there on the bottom because he's not on the official tracker, but just looking at here on the NFL's Twitter account, it's kind of a weird move. I'm not going to lie. It's a very weird move. I'm not really a fan of it. But yeah, Jonathan Mingo, you are a Dallas Cowboy. I'll pull it up actually really quick. Let's see here. There we go. So yeah, Jonathan Mingo, Dallas Cowboy. It's a weird one. I mean, I don't know why they would do it. I want to get rid of my trending page. We don't need to. Maybe I can't get rid of the trending page. Sorry if you're going to see political stuff. It's Twitter. It's funny about the trade deadline today, though. It's like it's during election day. The only major thing I care about, or I've been seeing people joke about, is oh yeah, the only thing people care about is the NFL trade deadline. That's all that matters. But yeah, Jonathan Mingo, this is a weird one. We're see some of the reaction here. Jerry got fleeced. I like this one. Someone said he's just trying to tank. What are the Cowboys doing? This definitely will save the Cowboys season. It's such a weird move. It really is. Like this guy said, for a 4th, Jonathan Mingo for a 4th. DraftKings. Jonathan Mingo got traded for more than Deontay Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins. Very, very weird. Jerry Jones has completely tanked this season, in my opinion. He has ruined this season. Here, I'll make it bigger there. This season has been ruined by Derek Jones. Not Derek. Why am I saying Derek Jones? Jerry Jones has messed this season up for the Dallas Cowboys. He has messed this season up into oblivion. The Dallas Cowboys are out of it. They are done. And you went and made this move for Jonathan Mingo. It's such a dumb, weird decision. And now we're getting news from Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some breaking news. It's not a trade yet, but he's saying the Steelers may not be done with trades, so stay tuned. The Steelers might not be done. And honestly, I have an idea what they might be doing. They need depth bad. Let me pull up that tweet really quick because this is an interesting one. Yeah, here we go. So the Steelers might not be done. So they get Mike Williams. Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh, I think it's Pittsburgh Post gets set. I messed it up. Yeah, he's for KDKA TV, Post Gazette in Pittsburgh. He's a very notable Pittsburgh Steelers writer. This was Mike Tomlin's quote of the day. Around, we're active participants in trade discussions, but we always are. I wouldn't read too much into it. So you're thinking like, oh, what does this mean? But yeah, this is Cordero Patterson's reaction. He's been really funny of recruiting people. He wanted Devontae Adams. People were joking he probably wanted DK Metcalf, but he said, finally got me one. Yes, sir. Welcome, the real Mike. Dub. I'm really excited for Mike Williams. Not going to lie. There is a joke, like an old tweet going around that he said the Steelers uniforms make him mad or something. I think that's really funny. But yeah, this is an interesting tweet just because I don't think the Steelers are done either. I want to go through, see, some people are thinking like J.C. Horn. They're not getting Slayton. They already did. See, here's the thing. If you got Slayton, like this guy said, you got Pickens, Slayton, Williams, Austin, Wilson, and Jefferson. Very good wide receiver room. I don't think that's happening either. Probably some D-line, maybe offensive tackle depth, maybe another wide receiver. I don't think they're going to get another wide receiver. I don't think they need another wide receiver. But yeah, I don't think they're done either. I don't think the Steelers are done. I don't think so. I mean, I'd be shocked if the Pittsburgh Steelers are done. I really would. Let's go through I want to read some fan reaction. Let's see here. Just a bunch of voting crap. I want trades. There we go. So here's the Marshawn Lattimore trade. NFL fans, when the Chiefs didn't get Marshawn Lattimore, that is a really funny one. I like that. Evans and Lattimore. Oh my gosh. They hate these. This was a rivalry. Washington's becoming legit. Someone said the Saints are going 2-15. I think that'd be really funny. Cooper DeJean is not clear. Commanders are, I like this. The Commanders are building something serious right now. I mean, I like it. I like this take. I think this is a very serious move from the Commanders. I think it's a Commanders team that needs it bad. I think they're a Commanders team that needs some more stars. I think this is a Commanders team that is going to make some noise in the playoffs. I think they're a team that can make some big noise in the playoffs. I think they're going to be awesome. Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? I really don't think so. But other than that, like, I don't know. It's such a weird trade deadline. But yeah, sorry, I'm kind of distracted on my phone right now. Kind of just looking at everything I can find to see if trades are happening. Here's my thing about the NFL trade deadline. I'll say this. It is by far the most boring trade deadline in sports. And you know what? It sucks to say because the NFL trade deadline can be fun. The NHL trade deadline is okay. The NBA trade deadline is, I think, even better than both of those because you see more stars going. But the trade deadline that takes the cake for the most chaotic is by far the MLB. Just because you see so many random prospects getting traded, like we saw so many relievers get traded for like top prospects, like the Padres were trading their top prospects to the Marlins. You saw the Orioles trade top prospects to the Marlins. That was a fun trade deadline. But yeah, you know what? Just for fun, I want to watch that video again. Yeah. So, for Chiefs haters out there, they are not getting Marshon Lattimore, everyone. We can celebrate. Woohoo. Marshon Lattimore, you are not a Kansas City Chief. Congratulations. You are a Washington Commander. And you know what? If you told Marshon Lattimore at the beginning of the season he was going to the Washington Commanders, like, I mean, he was probably not expecting them to be good. He probably did not want to go there. Can I just say, though, like, the Saints and Commanders are in completely different trajectories. The Saints at the beginning of the season had a lot of promise. They collapsed. The Commanders are a big question mark, and they upgraded everything. They're looking decent. They are looking very good. The Commanders look like a fun team. So moving on, let's pull up another trade that happened. I'm going to keep trying to repost this. Refresh, that is. See if anything happens. Nothing yet. There's some playoff matchups right now. So if the playoffs ended today, I want to see how some of these trades affect what happens. So if you're looking at the playoff picture currently, you look at the Chiefs. Almost all of these teams have added someone decent. Zadarius Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, you could say. Deontay Johnson, big move. The Broncos, Chargers, and Texans really haven't done anything. The only teams in the AFC that have done major moves would be probably these four. Zadarius Smith, Marshon Lattimore. You saw the Cardinals got someone as well today. I already forget his name because it was a random one that happened. When the Broncos traded their guy to the Cardinals. Who knew this was going to be the playoffs right now? Who knew that? Like, I don't think I had that on my bingo card that this was going to be the playoff picture right now. Currently. I don't think so. This is such a weird playoff picture just to look at on the aspect of how are the Broncos in it? How are the Cardinals? Like, I don't think anyone was expecting a playoff picture by after week 9 to have the Broncos, Vikings, Cardinals, Chargers. I expected the Falcons. It's missing the Bucks, and you know the Bucks are in such a bad situation. I'm surprised the Bucks haven't made a move for a wide receiver yet. I really am. I think the Bucks need a wide receiver badly. I think maybe they're in on Darius Slayton. I'm surprised they weren't in on Mike Williams. I'm surprised they weren't in on Cooper Kupp. I think they waited too long. I thought the Bucks were going to be a perfect fit for a Cooper Kupp because it was right after they lost Chris Godwin, and then they only had Mike Williams, and Mike Williams is also just put on the injured list or IR. He was going to be out, I think, till week 11. So the Mike Williams news is kind of interesting with the Bucks missing out on him. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the trade deadline. There's your playoff picture right now. Trade deadline is at 4 o'clock, so about an hour and 25 minutes to go until we are done with the trade deadline, until the deadline has hit. Keep seeing here. You know what we're going to do for fun? We're going to look up Adam Schefter. Because this is the guy. Oh! Okay, we have a trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers have added Preston Smith from the Packers. Okay. Interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers have acquired Preston Smith, who is kind of I don't want to see if he's good or not. It depends who he's matched up with. He's getting old. They need depth. They need depth a lot. I like this. BetMGM posted this. I don't think Preston Smith's the big difference maker, but I mean, what are they giving up? I don't know. I need to know what's going on here. Preston Smith. I need to look him up. So this is a big news. We got our trade live. This is the first one we're breaking live. Preston Smith. Outside linebacker. Like I was thinking, they need an outside linebacker. Let me see here. Some Packers fans are just confused why it's happening. Here's the big news. Breaking news, Preston Smith is... I'm going to text... You know what? I'm going to text my friend who is a Packers fan. Because... he is definitely honest about his team. So Preston Smith goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They get linebacker depth. They need it. They need it badly because they just lost Nick Herbig. Alex Highsmith was out for a while. DeMarvin Leal's been out. We're going to mute some of the anything we see election-wise, I'm just going to mute because I don't want people to have to sit through it. But yeah, here it is. Preston Smith. Breaking news. Breaking news live on the final whistle. They've made a move. They have made a move. Pass rusher. Edge rusher, that is. I'm going to read. I'm looking at my phone really quick because this is important stuff. We'll see what people are saying. The Steelers now have an edge rusher room of T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Preston Smith. You know what? I like it. So let's see here. I think this is a move. I don't know what they're giving up, though. We don't know yet. No one knows. Let's see here. There we go. See, I want to know what the Steelers are giving up for Preston Smith right now. Just because he's older. Let's see what these guys are saying. I'm hoping my buddy responds because he is very honest. He loves the Packers. Looking up Brooke Pryor. He's a more popular reporter for the Steelers. So here's some stuff about Preston Smith. 9-year starter in 10 years with Washington and Green Bay. Preston Smith gives the Steelers more pass rush depth at a position that's dealt with injuries this season. Alex Highsmith is healthy now, but he missed 3 games with a groin injury, and Nick Herbig has been sidelined with a hamstring injury. This is great depth. I think the Steelers also need a corner. I don't know if they're done. I really don't know. I do not think they are done. I don't think they are. I don't think the Steelers have a reason to be done. Here it is. I don't like it. I'm a Steelers fan. Ooh. See, here's the thing. You could make this meme. Add Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig. Like, honestly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't forget about Highsmith and Nick Herbig. Here it is. We don't know what they're trading yet, though. This is nuts. You pair him with T.J. Watt? But you already got Alex Highsmith. So this is a confusing trade for a lot of people. Like this guy said, don't they like they have Alex Highsmith, but they need the depth. But like, why would the Packers make this trade? Because people are saying their D-line is not good. But you should not be comparing these two together. Like Watt is way better than Preston Smith. Let's see here. Yeah, here we'll just go back to this one. Yeah, Preston Smith, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler. Welcome to the ball club. People are calling him overrated. I mean, let's see. Just a troll account. And literally, he's depth. Preston Smith is great depth for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. This is fake. We are not sending Alex Highsmith for DJ Moore. DJ Moore, I hope Steelers fans understand this. I understand you want a big receiver, but here's the thing. This guy was just extended to stay in Chicago. They are not trading DJ Moore. We can stop.
Moves. The Green Bay Packers have traded edge rusher Preston Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow. Per sources. Now, in a matter of moments, the trade comp and what was traded by the Steelers to the Packers will come out via one of the insiders.
I'm nervous. I don't know what they gave up. .68.5 career sacks in his career. This is depth to a spot with a lot of injuries. I mean, this is a great move if you're a Steelers fan. I don't know why you could be upset with it. I think this is an underrated move. Let's see here. I need to know what they're giving up, though. I need to know. Well, that's great. That's good. That's going to be awesome. So we just trade away Preston Smith for what? Pocket lint, half a candy bar? What are we getting? I don't know if they're done. This is a more busy deadline for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to lie. This has been an interesting one. The Steelers have made some moves. Oh, sorry, I'm tired. I'm going to text. We're going to check in with Danny, see what time he's planning on joining. I'm going to leave this up. Preston Smith, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to pull this one. There it is. So it has a nice graphic. But yeah, Preston Smith, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's all I'll say. But yeah, great move. No one knows what they're giving up. Oh. So Preston Smith is under contract. $2 million the rest of this year. He's scheduled to make 13.4 and 25, and 14.1 and 26, but not of it. I don't think any of it is guaranteed. I think this is going to be costing the Steelers something. I mean, I think this might cost the Steelers some stuff. It isn't going to cost them something good. Watching Jerry react. But yeah, Preston Smith, congratulations. You are a Pittsburgh Steeler. So, trade deadline is still happening. We're going to go back to the NFL's account. Steelers make another move. Live reaction to it. There we go. Packers trading Preston Smith. This is great in like outside linebacker depth for the Steelers, like I just said earlier. You think the Steelers, what they have, you have TJ Watt Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig. Already great outside linebacker group, but the problem with it is Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig have both been injured. They both been out a couple weeks. Highsmith just came back and made a statement. He looked very good against the New York Giants in that O-line that's very bad. Nick Herbig is also really good. He's in year 2. I think Nick Herbig's the most underrated outside linebacker on the team. I think he's the most underrated player on the team. I think he is having a great season. Before he was hurt, I think he's going to be great after he comes back from being hurt. Preston Smith is a very solid depth piece. Now, he's not starting over Alex Highsmith for number 2. I think he's probably going to be a lot more depth-wise. I don't think he's going to be in the plays every single second. I don't think he's there every single second in any play. I think he's there every so often. So Preston Smith, pretty solid move for Pittsburgh. I like it. But yeah, I'm going to look up NFL trade deadline, see what's going on. Now, here's the thing. No one knows what else is happening. No one knows what they're giving up. Okay, let's see here. Anything going on? NFL trade deadline, election day, first college football playoff rankings, champion league. Might be a great day in Twitter history. Take off election day. There's many people fighting about that, as we already see in the trendings. Let's see here.
I was going to do that, and then I came back and
what are you doing? Nothing.
Goodness. I like that one too. When Danny joins here, here we go. Supposedly, I don't know if this is the official competition. People are saying it's a 7th round pick. I don't believe that. If it's only for a 7th round pick, wow. Omar Khan only gave up a 7th round pick. Omar Khan has escaped fraud allegations for not getting Brandon Ayuk, for not getting Devontae Adams. He lands a very solid NFL caliber. He's a career great edge rusher for depth. He gets him for only a 7th round pick. Let's read fan reaction. Con artist does it again. Robbery. It says he's washed. Oh, goodness. This Tyquan Thornton would have been through. Probably a 1st round pick. What a steal. A steal. Fleece. Robbery. Great addition. He only gave up a 7th round pick. Wow. That is nuts. I am shocked they only gave up a 7th round pick. I am shocked. Yeah, here it is. I mean, what? The Steelers are only giving up a 7th rounder. The Packers aren't getting anything out of this. Like, this is a weird one. I don't know why the Packers are doing this on their end of things. Yeah, like Danny just said in the chat, he's probably going to be joining us in a little bit. This is an awesome move. This is awesome for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a great deal. This is great stuff. This is a fleece, in my opinion. I think this is a fleece. The Packers gave up only a 7th round pick for Preston Smith? What are they doing? I'm not a Packers fan, but you only gave up a 7th round pick to get him? This is just dumb. This is great depth. Omar Khan did something really good. I like this move. My buddy who's a Packers fan just responded to me, so we're going to see his live reaction to this trade. He said, we traded him. Oh, boy. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. I said, yep, for just a 7th. Oh, his day's probably been ruined. Because he... My buddy was a Green Bay Packers fan. I used to be his roommate up in college. I sent him, I want to know what his honest opinion is. Is like, I said, what do you think about Preston Smith? He just went to the Steelers. Is he good? His reaction is, he got traded? Oh, goodness. I'm going to make my screen full screen. So, yeah, here we go. Preston Smith, the official deal right here. The Steelers are going to be paying. They're getting this. 2025 and 2026 is not guaranteed money. So right now they're only playing 1.6 mil guaranteed, and they're only giving up a 7th round pick in 25. The Steelers have now given up their 5th round pick and 7th round pick. So maybe the Steelers could be in a situation where they go to get some draft picks. The Steelers are secretly having a very good trade deadline. This is a team that usually does not have fame. I feel like Omar Khan's best move was the Chase Claypool trade, where he traded Chase Claypool for a 2nd round pick, and that pick became Joey Porter Jr. I mean, that was a really good trade. This is kind of an not underwhelming, but I would say a very underrated trade. I think this is a very sneaky trade. I like it. I mean, they're only giving up a 7th round pick. I think you just, I don't know if I'm going to call it a fleece or not. It depends if he's good, but for depth, for just a 7th round pick, this is what the Steelers should have been looking at for, like, the compensation wise for like a Mike Williams or KJ Osborne. I don't think Mike Williams is worth a 5th. I think he's worth a 6th. But Mike Williams is also pretty good. I mean, Mike Williams and Preston Smith, I guess more so the Mike Williams point of view, it's not going to shake things up. It's not going to be like your Devontae Adams of the world. It's not going to be your DK Metcalf who wasn't traded yet. It's not going to be like getting a Cooper Kupp. It's not going to be like getting a DeAndre Hopkins. It's not going to be like getting a Brandon Ayuk. You're getting a guy who's your wide receiver too. And then you also acquired linebacker depth, which you really needed. My Packers friend just texted me. I want to see his live reaction. I'm going to pull up my phone here. This is going to be interesting. I want to know what he actually thinks about this. I knew he would say. Let's see here. What? Smith. So with this, my buddy said he's fine with it, and he called him washed. I was expecting that because, like, he's having an iffy year, but he's been pretty good in his NFL career. The Pittsburgh Steelers have turned a edge rusher room that just had TJ Watt, Highsmith, and Herbig. Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig have been injured a majority of the weeks this season. Highsmith just came back. Herbig's still out. I don't know if he's going to be back for the Commanders game. But you add this, you add Preston Smith to TJ Watt. I know they are not even close in talent level. But, I mean, this is what the Steelers need. They need depth at positions. They need to get more depth. Who knows? Maybe they're not even done. I'd be shocked if the Steelers are done because, honestly, it's like I feel like they need some more stuff. This is 31 minutes ago. I don't think he hasn't updated his stuff yet until Brooke Pryor. Here we go. Ramon Foster made this. Coach T has always been a fan of him since he was in Washington. Wednesday team meetings on Preston was always very detailed. Good to see him in the black and gold. I like this. They need somebody to help stop Derrick Henry when they play the Ravens. I don't think it's a difference maker, but at least helps. I mean, I like it. I really like this move. I think it's a very underrated move, especially since they only gave up a 7th round pick. I like this. The Steelers aren't done. Let's see here. I'm going to just look up Steelers. Because now it's kind of turning into Steelers stuff. Yeah, here's the official tweet about Mike Williams. It's been official. We're going to like this. See, now I'm kind of turning into a Steelers show. And when Danny gets here, we're going to talk more about everything that's happened. But we'll probably react to this stuff too. Just because I'm running out of things to talk about until more things happen. Let's see here. Fans are reacting. They like it. And Mike Williams. And the thing about Mike Williams, too, is he was supposed to be, like, the Steelers were in on him before he went to the Jets, and the Steelers missed out on him. That's something I kind of have been frustrated about with Omar Khan, is because they wasted so much time trying to get Brandon Ayuk. You let every single other option just leave. You just let every single option you had go away. You had a chance to get Brandon Ayuk. You had a chance to get Devontae Adams. You had a chance to get a Cooper Kupp. You had a chance to get a Christian Kirk. Each situation has gone differently. Ayuk, extension. Devontae Adams, he went to the Jets to go play with his old buddy Aaron Rodgers. Cooper Kupp, he's staying with the Rams because they're still in it in that division. Christian Kirk, you waited too long. Now he has a broken collarbone. You can't trade for him. They needed someone. It was going to come down to a guy like today, the low to mid. Well, I guess also DeAndre Hopkins. He missed out on him. So they were going into it today. They were going to have to do something along the lines of getting a mid to low level wide receiver too. That aren't really, they're upgrades, but they're not drastic upgrades, like you could say. The drastic upgrades would have been like a Cooper Kupp or the guys that could be wide receiver ones, like a Devontae Adams. DeAndre Hopkins would have been a great upgrade over Van Jefferson for a wide receiver too. I would honestly put Pickens still ahead of DeAndre Hopkins for a wide receiver too. But moving on, they were in a situation they had to make a move. They had to make a move ASAP, and they were stuck in between guys like Adam Thielen, who I really would have wanted, Mike Williams, KJ Osborne, Darius Slayton. Of all those guys, I personally was ranking it Thielen, Slayton, Williams, KJ Osborne. But like I had a feeling in my head the Steelers, I don't want to say but like the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to get Mike Williams just because it makes sense. It really did make a lot of sense. We're nearing already an hour on the live, by the way. Thank you all for joining. I've seen a couple people come and go. But yeah. Alan Saunders reporting it. It's now official. Let's see here. Alert, alert. Jeez. I don't... Steelers. Yeah. Just vote that really quick. Okay, we don't need to see that. Let's look at Jets fans' reactions. We had a good run. Thanks for nothing, Mike. Good. This is a good trade. He said, thanks for nothing. We'll look up NFL trade deadline now, see if anything else is happening. Let's see here. I don't know if anything else is happening right now, honestly. I think the weirdest one was what the Cowboys did. I guess we can get back to that one. Because I know Danny and I are going to be discussing it when he joins in a little bit. But this was such a dumb move. Where is it? Yeah, here's the Preston Smith news. Oh, I made that. Let's move. You know what? I like this graphic. Look, they know something. They know they're going to be good. Good to the Commanders for doing that trade. Let's see here. Yeah, Jonathan Mingo. This is the one I want to talk about. Why? What was the point? Why? They traded a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo. I just want to know what is the reasoning behind it. I want to know why the Cowboys did this. If anyone's watching this later down the road, if you want to leave a comment, like, this is the weirdest trade I think I've seen. This is Jerry Jones panicking. Clearly. My Packers buddy texted me back. My buddy said, hopefully they are freeing up space for a good pass rusher like Myles Garrett with eye emojis. And I said, I don't know about that yet, but you know what? I'd be fine with it. They can get rid of him, please. Let's see here. But yeah, this is the dumbest trade I think I've seen, just because it just doesn't make sense for the Cowboys. The fact that the Panthers got a 4th-round pick out of Jonathan Mingo, who was not their key guy, is just funny to me. Like this, I like this one, the wide receiver splash that Jerry was talking about. Like, this is just dumb. Why? Why would they do this? I'm not mad at it. It's just frustrating looking at it from the outside. I'm not a fan of the Cowboys, but this trade is just stupid. I don't think the Cowboys should be buyers. I think their season's down the drain. I think their season's done. I mean, they're only 3-5, but I think they are 3-5. But their season's toast. They don't have a running back. Their running back room stinks. They got rid of Tony Pollard, who did decent with them, but like, other than that, what do they got? You traded everyone. You moved them all. You didn't go sign Derrick Henry like you should have. You didn't go sign Saquon Barkley. You rocked with Rico Dowdle as your number 1 overall running back. Like, you're not even going to go trade for... The Bengals even traded for a running back. We just covered that. Khalil Herbert. Cowboys didn't get a running back in him. I don't even think he's a good running back that much. But, like, still. I don't get it. I think Cowboys fans are fuming. Like, ew. This is a trade right here. This one and the Mingo one. These two trades, 1 and 2. These are the trades that just don't make sense today. These are my 2 confusing ones. Zadarius Smith, let's get back to this one. This was a great move. This move right here was awesome. Love it. Love it for the Lions. There was rumors they were going to be all over Max Crosby. Who knows? Maybe Max Crosby's still moved today. I don't think he is, but it would be really cool. But Zadarius Smith, we all knew he was going to go to the Lions. They needed an edge rusher after the news about Aiden Hutchinson. That's an important one. That's a good move. But so many dumb moves. I don't get it. These are where the good moves start. Besides the Zadarius Smith, Marshawn Lattimore this was the biggest prize in trade deadline this year. Marshawn Lattimore. You want the best corner, best defender? Go out and get him. Commanders did it. Congratulations, Washington Commanders. Now my buddies are hoping for Micah Parsons because you're not getting Micah Parsons or... I tell my friend to use the 7th rounder for a rusher. Like, I mean, it's such a dumb move. Not this one, but like the Mingo one, the Herbert one, I just don't get it. I don't get why they would make that move. Trade deadline. I'm waiting for stuff to happen. I'm staying on here till 4. We are staying live till 4 o'clock. I'm waiting for another bomb to happen so we can talk about it. Adam Schefter is probably just waiting for some stuff to happen. Oh, goodness. But yeah, he just brought up the point that Preston Smith's really expensive, but like he's not gonna be. He just said he's 49. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh, Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith. A bunch of Smiths got traded today. How about it? Got some typing from Danny Erb. I think Danny Erb might be on his way. Danny's going to be on in about 15 to 20 minutes. My buddy's saying he's as old as dirt. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. I don't think the Steelers are done either. I really don't. The NFL just reposted DJ Reader's tweet saying, "Please go vote, you guys." And someone replied, "I vote for one more pass rusher." That's pretty funny, I'm not going to lie. I like it. I like this Preston Smith move. There's not really a lot going on, but it's like, I mean, we're just kind of waiting. Oh, goodness. What a day. I woke up today, saw some trade stuff, went to go vote because, have to. Yeah. NFL trade deadline show, spectacular. You know what? Not really a lot of spectacular things happening right now. Hopefully some stuff goes down whenever we see some more trades. Hopefully some more stuff starts to happen. Ari. He'll post some stuff. Nothing yet. The Raiders naming their interim OC. Is what it is. Let's see here. I'm going to take a very quick break. I will be right back. We're going to stop sharing this. I'm going to pull it up we'll be right back thing. Okay, I will be back. Thank you all for joining. Okay. Ugh. Well, welcome back. I brought a friend for the trade deadline special. This is the cat. This is Apollo. He's kind of mad about being here. He doesn't want to be on the show. He's kind of camera shy. Right, here we go. Now he's getting mad. But yeah, trade deadline spectacular. Thank you all for joining. We're going to pull up the Twitter sphere again. I'm going to let him go, actually. We're going to pull up Twitter. Let's go back. Yes, so here we go. Let's see here. Bunch of voting stuff. I want trades. Trades. Happen. Do something. Someone. I'm going to get him out of here really quick. Okay. So, yeah, Preston Smith's been the last big one to happen. The trade deadline in the NFL is so much more boring than MLB, NBA. NHL's kind of boring too. But of all the trade deadlines, the NFL one's the worst. It is. Nothing happens. Like, it's bad. They need some teams need to stop being scared and go make a move. Do something. Yeah, I've been out here for an hour, 15 minutes. How about it? Let's see. Mike Evans is trending. It's on the tarmac watching him leave. That's great. Let's go back, see if something's going on. Like Emery did anything. Will there be a part 3? That's what I want to know. Are the Steelers doing anything else? Looking up trade rumors. You gotta look up keywords on Twitter. That's how you do it. Well, he's already traded. Are you stupid? People are going to believe this. Breaking news, the Lions, Commanders, and Chiefs are reportedly pursuing the Saints' Marshawn Lattimore. He's already traded. I mean, I'm surprised the Patriots haven't sold anyone like a KJ Osborne. I mean, I'm very shocked about that. JC Horn would be a good one. I guess this is a name to look at. Yeah, these are some guys you're still looking at. Travis Etienne would be an interesting one. I like that one. Chase Young has received supposed interest. I don't trust it. Darius Slayton updates. I think he's a big one to look at. Let's see here. There we go. Trade rumors. Chase Young is getting some interest. The former Commander. How funny would it be if he goes back to the Commanders when they're good? Ravens, Bengals, and 49ers. Okay. Interesting. Chase Young could be interesting here. That's an interesting name to look at. Let's see here. Jeffrey Simmons getting some calls. Emmanuel Forbes. I like what someone brought up about Travis Etienne Jr. I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys, if you need a running back, there it is. There's your person. I like this. After countless months of waiting for a wide receiver, all the jersey edits, it's Mike Williams. That's great. That is the dumbest. That's the worst trade of the day. I hate that one. Now we're at the red. No, we're not doing MLB trade rumors. That's another day. Metcalf rumors over. We're at NFL. We're gonna change that. Like, this is just funny. I'm surprised it doesn't have any likes. I'm saying he was already traded. So during the rumors, the Raiders announced a new coaching change for their OC, an interim guy. This is, get off the street. I think that's a crazy one. I don't think that ever happens. Danny texted me a while ago. He said he'd be on in about 15, 20 minutes for joining us for the final 30 minutes or so. We might recap it a little bit. That was about 12 minutes ago. He'll be on soon. Probably see him show up. I don't know if anything else is going to happen. I like, this tweet isn't getting traction, but this guy makes a good point. These are some of the names they're looking at. Like, Travis Etienne Jr. is a big one. KJ Osborne being an honorable mention. I think that's one that is probably, like, Darius Slayton. What's going on with Darius Slayton? Are they trading him? Ojiari and Darius Slayton are still in the Giants because this regime wants to win games down the stretch. I'm surprised about Azeez Ojiari. Like, I don't know why he's still on that team. Darius Slayton to the Chargers, someone thinks. I mean,
rumored trade. That was probably not true. This was the most rumored trade. I think everyone believed that the Pittsburgh Steelers would end up trading for Mike Williams. As soon as Davante Adams went, I know that's when teams started calling, ultimately could not agree on a price. And I really do think, Tom, that the Jets.
It's fine. But, like, I don't know why he's still there. Why is Ojiari? They could get stuff for him. Giants are just stupid. If you watch this show before, I've talked about it so many times, the Giants are just one of the most dumb franchises in the NFL. I understand where this is coming. Like, the Giants value Darius Slayton, but, like, why would he go back? I forgot I'm on Darius Slayton rumors now. Let's see here. You know what? I like this tweet just because this is literally how it feels right now because nothing is happening. Come on. Do something. It's very quiet. Oh, goodness. The trade deadline spectacular. Gotta love it. Just because I'm a Steelers fan. Gotta look it up. Let's go back to Adam Schefter. Nothing's changing. Okay, we have a new one to talk about. Cornerback Tre'Davious White and a 7th-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens for a 2026 7th-round pick. I like, you know what? Baltimore needs secondary. Yeah, I like a Pro Bowl player for a 7th rounder. It's just a salary dump. That's why you got to do it. So we do have a trade. The Ravens. Tre'Davious White. Okay. I mean, I like it. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Ravens. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Tre'Davious White. Someone said he will take them to the finals at the bottom. There he is.
Oh!
Welcome.
I'm back.
That surprised me. I didn't think you were just going to jump in there.
Had to was at home, had to vote, back now, and a lot of stuff has happened.
Here, I'll see if I can add the overlay.
I see the
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
Boom.
so you missed a lot. This just happened. The
Tre'Davious
Ravens get
White.
Tre'Davious White.
Damn, man.
We're missing. You missed a lot. So I guess we can go through stuff you missed. I just went through a bunch of NFL crap
Okay.
on their official Twitter.
Sure.
Breaking down. I want your reaction to some of this stuff before we get to some of the Steelers stuff.
Sure.
I think we're gonna go a little past 4 as well because
That's fine.
we're gonna get some talking through
Yeah.
all this stuff. Let's go down here because they've been spamming a bunch of stuff. So the day started with Zadarius Smith. This is an easy one.
How about that?
They needed him.
Great trade for the Lions. What does this say about Cleveland? What does this say about Cleveland? What does this say for Myles Garrett's future in Cleveland? Are they saying, all right, it's this experiment with Deshaun Watson and all them is over?
You're muted.
Okay, I'm good now.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry. Well, what does it say for Cleveland's future? I mean, are they just hanging it up? Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. Now they're saying, all right, listen, let's just drop ship. This is a big get for Cleveland earlier, and now they're trading him to the Lions, who are the clear-cut best team in the NFL, in my opinion. Now only getting better. This is going to help a lot with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I mean, Lions fans, I think, were hoping a lot for Max Crosby.
Oh God, yeah.
But that wasn't gonna happen. It might, you know what? It would be crazy they still got him, but you know what? This was the perfect fit.
Yeah.
It seemed like a perfect trade partner. This was an easy one to predict. Everyone is predicting him because when they lost Aiden Hutchinson, you're like, they're getting an edge rusher.
Yeah.
They're getting a defensive end. And it was either Zadarius Smith, who was going to be cheaper than a Max Crosby.
Yep.
But Lions win this trade, and you said it perfectly. What's going on with the Browns? Like future of Myles Garrett, they just got rid of Mari Cooper, like last week. Today, Zadarius Smith. So I'm giving this an A+.
This is an A+ for the Lions, for the Browns. I mean,
there's another A+ I'll get to in a little bit. But moving on, this one makes no sense. This is
a running back.
That's what. Well, they lost their guy with an injury, neck injury.
Yeah,
but like I don't
hate it. 7th round pick is never gonna be crazy.
Like Herbert was behind DeAndre Swift, and another guy.
Yeah, I don't hate this for the Bengals. I'll give this like a C.
That's I mean, it just there's another one that makes little to no sense. I don't know if you heard me ranting about it at all. That's coming up, but I agree. I'll give it a C, maybe a C-, just because it's just weird. This is the one.
This is absurd.
This is the dumbest trade I've seen.
Didn't Jerry Jones say he was going to make a splash for a wide receiver?
He gave him a 4th round pick for the Panthers, probably 3 or 4 receiver.
Yeah, that's absurd. Jonathan Mingo? What are we doing, Dallas?
I want to hear your take on this.
Didn't Jerry Jones say that he was going to make a splash to get a wide receiver, and then he goes and he gets Jonathan Mingo, who's a 3rd, 4th string, without Deontay Johnson, probably a 3rd string wide receiver on the worst team in the NFL. I mean, what are you doing, Jerry? I mean, this is just clear cut why the Cowboys need to move on from Jerry Jones, and This is an embarrassment for Cowboys fans. If I'm them, why are we not trading for a running back? Why are we not trading for a backup quarterback now that we know Dak Prescott's out for a number of weeks? Why not try and save your season and like instead of trading for Jonathan Mingo and a 7th round pick and giving up a 4th round pick? That's absurd.
Supposedly they liked him out of the draft last year, but like I saw a meme about someone said when Jerry Jones sees a guy from Ole Miss he really likes out of the draft 2 years later. You go and it was a video of like DK Metcalf doing his touchdown celebration. He was like, "This is who Jerry Jones thinks he gets when he gets someone from Ole Miss." This one is. They also gave up a 7th. Like the Cowboys are getting a 7th round pick.
Yeah, well, I don't know why they gave up a pick as well.
Or no, they gave up a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
So I don't understand where this came from. But yeah, we'll move up. A couple big ones. I think the big one's coming right before the Steelers did their. This is the one.
This is the best trade I've seen so far.
This is an A+ like Zadarius Smith.
This is a Commanders team, which when you talked about, okay, this other offense is perfect. What's their downside? And it was easily their cornerback room. It was easily their defensive backs. And now they just got a Pro Bowl caliber defensive back. And anytime you play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's going to lock down Mike Evans. This is a very good signing for the Commanders. And I'm happy to see them make a splash finally and kind of, commit to winning.
Yeah.
To a sense. This is a good trade, I think, in all aspects. Saints are also just kind of admitting defeat. I really like this for the Commanders. I'm very happy they traded for a corner. This is an elite cornerback, and I'm happy for them.
2-0 to 2-7. That's the story of the New Orleans Saints. Like I brought it up weeks ago. Like their schedule is going to tell if they're good or bad, and they clearly are not a good football team. If he could lock up Mike Evans, who's one of our favorite wide receivers we like to talk about, I'm excited for him versus like a Devontae Smith, him versus an AJ Brown, even CD Lamb.
He's going to be guarding George Pickens this week.
Yeah, like he's going to be tested. But yeah, other than that, A+. I think we agree with that.
Really
him,
nice
and, him and Zadarius Smith. Now we're getting to the good stuff because we all know that we're Steelers fans, and we'll talk about it for a little bit.
Yep.
Here's the big one. Wide receiver happened.
Okay.
I want your thoughts.
This is a meh to me. I mean, who were we going to get that was going to – there was no reality where the Steelers get someone that's, a splash and going to make the headlines. It was Mike Williams. It was Adam Thielen, which I think I would have preferred over this. But I think that Mike Williams coming in kind of makes it so George Pickens doesn't have to be an exclusive deep ball threat because Mike Williams is a great deep ball threat. We saw it with him when he was on the Chargers and him and Justin Herbert. He was an amazing deep ball threat that year. And now this kind of leaves a little bit more wiggle room for guys like George Pickens and Calvin Austin. Now Austin can go back to being in the slot. And if we can really get Calvin Austin to being back to a slot receiver, I think that'd be very beneficial. But I do like this trade. I mean, a 5th round pick. I think this is pretty even to a sense for the 5th round pick. But here's the thing. You could even say the Jets won this trade just because of this. Listen, he wasn't going to re-sign with them at the end of this year because they traded for Devontae Adams. They have Garrett Wilson. They have other receivers. He wasn't going to resign. You know what I mean? So the Jets basically, and he wasn't even going to play this year. I mean, if you watched Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show, I watched that, on my way up. Rodgers was like, yeah, I mean, he just wasn't going to get the reps. So I think this is just a major win-win for both sides. You basically got a 5th round pick if you're the Jets for a guy who was just not going to get snaps, and the Steelers who are needing a wide receiver. And yeah, for me, anything less than a 3rd round pick, I really just couldn't care less about, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wanted Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
That was my number 1. Darius Slayton was a close number 2. Out of him, and then I guess the 4 guys that were going to be Steelers, I was talking about this earlier. It was either going to be Adam Thielen, Mike Williams, KJ Osborne, or I forget what the other guy's name I just said, but I just lost it. But yeah, like you're stuck between these 4 guys, and you were going to get one of them because you lost out on DeAndre Hopkins, who that was honestly wide receiver 1 for me. I wanted. There was the Christian Kirk news. They were supposedly about to get him, but then he broke his collarbone. Yep. Cooper Kupp, they're now good. They're not trading him. Devontae Adams goes to the Jets. Brandon Ayuk signed the extension. they've been missing out on wide receivers a lot. It's funny. Mike Williams is rumored to go to the Steelers in free agency.
He was. Yeah.
So like they got the guy they wanted in free
True.
agency,
Very
and
true.
like I don't think he's going to be back next year. On a Steelers perspective, I don't think he will. Maybe they'll go after someone else in free agency.
Yeah.
Or who knows before the trade deadline's over in 27 minutes.
Oh, wow,
Maybe.
It might start heating up here in a little bit.
Listen, there's a lot of other guys. I just saw a tweet. I
I'm
looked up
pulling up my
rumors.
Twitter feed right
There's
now.
a couple names on there. I was like, they make sense. And I want to ask your question about this. We talked about the Cowboys, their need for a running back. I know you're not high on them. You think they make a move on Travis Etienne with the Jaguars stinking? I think
wouldn't.
it makes sense.
But I wouldn't even want him. He's been bad. He's
That's
been.
what I'm saying.
Travis Etienne has been horrible. I would rather have Connor Hayward than Travis Etienne.
They just need a running back that's like better than Rico
Yeah.
Dowdle. But like, I mean, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I don't Mingo. Why? That infuriates me. So Mike Williams, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler. Welcome. Moving on. That one we already covered. This one, you left a comment about this one. This one came out of nowhere. This was the only trade. This is the only trade I actually got to live react to.
This is
Came
a
out of nowhere.
full-fledged fleece by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Can I say this about it?
Yeah.
You add to the depth of the outside linebacker, which they need because they lost Highsmith and Nick Herbig for a while.
Okay.
Highsmith's back. Herbig's still out. And you know what's funny about this? He's only making, I think, $1.6 million guaranteed this year.
Yeah.
He is being overpaid but here's the thing: 25 and 26, they're not guaranteed those years.
Mhm.
He's probably going to be a free agent next year. So you're adding depth to an already strong part of your defense. I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is just good depth. I mean, Highsmith has not been healthy the way he should be, and I like this for a 7th-round pick. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for a 7th-round pick. You got a guy who I think he has 2 more years left on his contract or something, and yeah, this is just solid. I mean, obviously he's not at his prime anymore, but Preston Smith is a good addition to the Steelers team and good edge rusher. Just he's good. He's not great.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I was talking to my Packers friend, my buddy up at IUP.
okay.
He was telling me, he was like, "Oh, he didn't even know he got traded." I texted him, was, "What's your thoughts on Preston Smith? He's on the Steelers." He's like, "Wait, we traded him?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah." And he flat out told me, he's like, he's washed. And I was like, okay.
nice.
He's kind of coping right now, but it's like he basically said he's old for a 7th rounder, but he also thinks the Packers, and there's some Packers fans thinking this could be making something. Maybe they're like maybe a Myles Garrett's in play.
Oh Christ,
That would be something. You know what? I'd be fine with that. Get him out of the division. But at the same time, I don't know if they're going to do it. That would be like more so free agency because that's going to be a lot of picks. That you give up. I said maybe you can use your 7th rounder for someone on the left side.
Yep.
But yeah, Preston Smith, I like it. Great. I would say depth. Moving on. I think they posted it. Yeah, here it is. Tre'Davious White just happened 14 minutes ago. I like it.
This is really good for the Ravens. This is really, really good for the Ravens. How about this? The Ravens go, "Oh, Steelers, you got it. You got a wide receiver. Bet we're gonna get a cornerback." Like,
yeah,
I think this might be me being biased for anyone watching. This might just be me being severely biased. I think the Ravens straight up make moves based off the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, you look at they got Deontay Johnson. They don't need Deontay Johnson. You know why they got Deontay Johnson? You really want to know why they got Deontay Johnson? They want to pick his head. They want to go, "Listen, Deontay, we haven't beat the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers in like in the 5 years. Lamar can't beat them. How? Be like, how does Tomlin do it?" And obviously, you know, Deontay Johnson burnt his bridges in Pittsburgh. He's going to tell them everything they need to know. I mean, you see it happens a lot in the NFL and sports where they trade for a guy and then they just pick his brain kind of about, you know, the team they're trying to beat. And, you know, guys don't care. They'll do it. Deontay Johnson will have no qualms, you know, telling, you know, Harbaugh what the Steelers are doing to stop Lamar. But yeah, I think this is less of that, but Ravens are just stacking up because they need to win this division, and it's gonna be close. And basically, our 2 games when we play the Ravens, those are like in election terms, like battleground games. You know what I mean? Those are the games that are going to matter for this division because the Browns and Bengals are already so far back in this division, and the Steelers and Ravens are just out to the hottest start now. I mean, I also can look back to 2020 when the Steelers were 11-0, and I thought there was no chance we'd lose the division, and somehow we lost the division.
Yeah,
that was just sickening. But I do like this for the Ravens.
I'm looking at my phone right now. This was a tweet someone quoted.
Mhm.
This was after the Preston Smith one. A Steelers reporter replied. Someone asked, "Are they done?" And they said, "May not be done." And they said, "What's a position of note? Maybe nose tackle." Just because they need more tackle. You look at the D line; they've lost some guys.
Yeah.
It's just kind of Cam Hayward, and a lot of guys have been injured. Like you also look at the edge rush. DeMarvin Leal's been out all year. And that's a guy they want to see get good. Someone brought up Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
That would be something. If the Steelers got Calais Campbell, that defense is elite. I mean, it already is elite, but I mean, yeah. So what are we thinking? Is there any other names you're looking at right now to get moved?
I mean, a lot of I'm looking at stuff right now. Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, DK Metcalf are all among top names right now that are being speculated. I didn't think Myles Garrett was on a trade block. I didn't know this was happening until today that he is, I guess, on the trade block. I knew DK, but I think DK should be on the trade block. They've lost their last 5 games. Tampa Bay is waiting to make moves. I think the Packers are waiting to make moves. Baltimore's made some nice moves. The Chiefs kind of made their moves before of the trade deadline. That's what I think. If I was an exec, I would make my moves a week before the trade deadline. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why teams got to wait till now. Like, dude, rip it a week before. But I'm just scrolling on Twitter here looking for anything. See a lot of Ravens stuff. A lot of Saints fans are just down sick.
I like how I think the NFL trade deadline is the most boring deadline. Nothing happens.
NBA one's insane. It's
NBA
crazy.
and MLB clear everything else. So much stuff happens.
MLB is kind of crazy. MLB and NBA are nuts. NBA, the one year, I remember it was like Paul George, Westbrook, everyone and their mother was getting traded.
I don't know what else is going to happen. We have 20 minutes now. I mean, you think of the names.
Yeah.
I
Gotta stick it out.
Darius Slayton.
Sure.
But like I'm seeing like Giants fans say like what Ojiari as well from the Giants. They're guys on defense. But like they haven't traded them yet. I don't know why they're still there. Why not get value? Especially out of like Ojiari. He's really good. We just saw him play the Steelers. KJ, I'm surprised the Patriots haven't done anything.
Yeah, same.
They should be sellers.
Yeah.
Even though Drake May's kind of been pretty decent. But like you just lost to the Titans in overtime. I mean, I'd be getting rid of KJ Osborne, team that's desperate. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers ran on him. But it makes sense why the Steelers weren't with Adam Thielen. Supposedly they wanted to get. People were thinking just a 7th round pick. It probably would have been more than Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I guess I was watching the Pat McAfee show before I started, and they just weren't. He was telling them they just weren't set on compensation. It was taking a while. I think the Panthers wanted a lot more than what he was worth.
Zadarius Smith already changed his all his bios to Detroit Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see his tweet? He tweeted it says SMH.
Shaking my head.
Yeah. So Pat McAfee said he said maybe it means share my hospitality. Here's Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, that's such a good sign. On Instagram, he changed his bio
I think that SMH tweet got deleted.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Going from the Browns to the Lions a couple years ago would have been awful, but now it's like a blessing.
I got my notifications on my phone just in case I see like a Adam Schefter or a.
I have been going through every Steelers like beat writer and like Adam Schefter in the NFL for the last just back and forth trying to find what happens or if something's gonna happen. Like it's kind of been boring, not gonna lie, because nothing is going on. Like Broncos, they've yet to make a deal. Is this a Broncos writer? Yeah, kind of. They're waiting for them to do something. The Broncos have been in like a situation where they're kind of confusing. They made a trade with the Cardinals today. It was kind of weird. I think it was for a corner. Let's see here. I like this one. 20 minutes. Are the Cowboys done?
They're done.
Well, someone's asking, are they done? I don't know.
I'd assume. I mean, see, the thing with NFL, it's like not like, okay, these teams are the works. It's like, okay, it just happens. So we kind of just talk about it, and then we're just talking heads until something crazy happens. So I'm just scrolling, looking for something right now.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just like, oh, what's going
Despite
on?
any speculation, Seahawks will not be trading DK Metcalf. So the Seahawks are definitely not trading Metcalf.
This is one that I'm looking at right now about Chase Young.
Ooh.
There could be people in on him.
Okay.
This is from NFL Rumors. 300, almost 350K followers. Sure. People are thinking Ravens, Bengals.
Right, please don't be a Raven. Back to the Commanders now that they're good.
You know what? I said that before you joined. Watch them go back to the Commanders now that they're good. The Bengals are interesting. I know, we don't really want it, but the Steelers get Mike Williams and everyone's panicking.
Yeah, literally.
How much?
I don't think you need to panic, but dude, I wouldn't panic about Mike Williams. What's he gonna do?
That's what I wouldn't panic either.
I mean, now I could see us maybe putting like a guy like, I don't know. Putting a trade package together, getting someone. But who do we even need now? I mean, we have. Oh, I mean, do we try and get another wide receiver?
I say depth at D line.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the Steelers should be looking at depth.
Linebacker, yeah.
Because they need. We see how many injuries they've had this year.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, if they're gonna stay decent, they're gonna have to have safety behind them, and that's why they needed a wide receiver too. Because, like I said, if George Pickens got hurt, they were screwed.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna look up Steelers. Steelers rumors ain't working. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way people are saying. Last season, wow, what a play!
What a guy.
What a play, man. What a play. Let's see here. See if something happens. Just a bunch of Preston Smith stuff.
Yeah. I'll get the notification when something does. I got the shifter note he's on. But, yeah, nothing going right now.
You know what? While we're waiting, I want to bring up, I was looking at the graphic.
Okay.
And this can go into what I kind of want to talk about for a little bit today. Maybe we'll do more on Friday. Mid-season awards.
Okay.
Just for fun. This is the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it all, but
who's your MVP?
My MVP?
Mm-hmm.
I like Josh Allen.
I think Josh Allen.
Lamar's still playing MVP caliber, though.
Yes, I know. Rookie of the year, I think it's pretty clear. It's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Or not offensive player of the year. I think it's either Saquon or Derrick Henry, but it's probably going to be Derrick Henry.
Oh, that's close. I'm thinking Derrick Henry. They give out rookie of the years as well for offense and defense.
Defense, I don't even know who it would be.
I know the main rookie of the year is Jaden Daniels. Offensive rookie of the year, if you do that,
yeah,
probably Jaden Daniels. But I would love to see Brian Thomas get something.
No shot.
He's been good.
Yeah, no
but
shot.
Yeah, here's the playoffs. I mean, I like these matchups. It's kind of weird. I was saying before you joined.
Broncos in the playoffs is crazy.
The Broncos, Chargers, Cardinals, and Vikings being in the playoffs is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
The Commanders, no one thought would be a 2 seed right now. The Vikings, I didn't think were even going to be close to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at these matchups now, let's pick I just want to pick winners. Bills, Broncos. I'm going Bills.
Yeah, obviously.
Steelers, Chargers. I'll go Steelers.
Yeah, for sure. We already beat them this year.
Now, Ravens, Texans. This is an interesting.
Give me the healthy Texans.
The Texans have kind of been underwhelming.
They got whooped by the Ravens last year.
Can we talk about CJ Stroud?
Yeah, he's been underwhelming.
A little bit. You put him in the top 5 QBs.
He did. He's probably should be out of that.
He has not been a good quarterback.
No.
We might have to graduate Joe Burrow back up there, maybe.
Yeah. Burrow, yeah.
Actually, I think he was already up there. Maybe Matthew Stafford goes up. I'm going to take the Ravens in that matchup.
Okay.
NFC wise, I like this Packers Commanders game.
Mhm.
I kind of want to go Commanders,
I'll go Packers.
but I wouldn't be shocked if the Packers do it again as the
I'll
7th
go
seed.
Packers.
Well, the Packers last year as a 7th seed made it all the way to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Well, no, NFC Divisional round. They beat the Cowboys in Dallas. I think they can easily beat the Commanders.
Mhm.
Falcons, Eagles. Falcons already beat Eagles. I'm going Falcons again.
I'll go with the Eagles.
So you got 2 lower seeds.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest matchup of all, Cardinals, Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah. The NFC playoffs is wild. I think it's just because the Eagles have been very underwhelming.
Yeah.
The seeding's all messed up. I mean, I don't know what else you can do here. It's gonna go to. I'm gonna stop sharing for a little bit. Are you able to wait? Where is it? Brand. I got it. There we go.
What the? I'm not used to being on this side. I gotta change my mic.
Yeah, I'm not on this side either. Usually, I gotta. I want to look at the standings really quick. Just because we're almost at the trade deadline, I don't think we're gonna stay on that long.
Yeah.
So NFL standings.
Browse my phone. See if I can find anything on Twitter.
It's kind of weird. There's not a lot of. There's some upsetting teams. The teams are confusing. I think the most confusing one, I don't know if they're bad or good, is the Bengals.
Yeah.
4-5. The Jets people think can climb out of being 2-6. They're now 3-6. I don't think they're going to. Chargers being 5-3 is kind of shocking. The Colts are in a dumb situation. That team's, I think, going to be in trouble going down the stretch. NFC North still pretty good. The Bears are on a 2-game losing streak. They're 4-4 in last place. The Lions are starting to carry away with it. They're still only a game ahead of the Vikings, though. The NFC South has changed completely. You know, I'm surprised the Bucs haven't got out and went to go get a wide receiver. I don't know. You think the Bucs are serious? Do you think they're seriously still trying to make the playoffs?
No.
You think they're just giving up?
Yeah, they're giving up.
Or do you think they're just holding? They played some close games without their guys. They almost beat the Chiefs last night.
Yeah, coin toss away. Chiefs get blessed with another coin toss. That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that was pretty good. NFC West as well. Yeah. It's the wild, wild West right now. The Seahawks are on a complete downward spiral. They were really good at the start, and they've just been losing.
That was my team. I said that that was going to be an NFC Championship team. What a bad
Who
take.
knew the 5-4 Cardinals would be in first place?
Yeah.
That is another weird one. Is there any shocking ones? I guess an AFC and NFC team that have underwhelmed your expectations. I'll give mine after.
I mean, the Commanders, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's my overwhelm.
Yeah.
My underwhelm's the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys, and then underwhelmed for probably got to be the Bengals or the Browns, right?
Yeah. I'm probably saying the Bengals. I don't think the Browns were even. I didn't think the Browns were going to be good. I thought they're going to have more wins by now, but other than that,
we got some news here. Hold on.
Some news.
Yep. Here we go. Chicago Bears are making a move.
Uh-oh.
Bears are firing their head coach.
Whoa!
And they are signing the Rizzler.
Oh, you know what? I like that move.
They are hiring the Rizzler to coach the Chicago Bears.
You know what? Move. I think Bears fans are rejoicing.
Yeah.
I think he's a better coach than Eberflus.
Eberflus is awesome.
Eberflus looks like Derek Shelton. Pirates manager.
Yeah.
Looks just like him. I just saw news from the Steelers end. It's not breaking. They're waiving one of their tight ends, Rodney Williams, to make room on the roster. Probably for Mike Williams.
Sure. Yeah.
Someone said, "Is another move coming?" Everyone said, "No, no."
No.
I'm not getting my hopes up for the Steelers to do much more.
I'm perfectly fine with what they did. I don't
Yeah.
think there needs to be much more. What do we have? 8 minutes until the trade deadline. It's probably over. I mean, you'd be shocked to see something happen within the last 8 minutes of the trade deadline. Honestly.
Yeah, like in the MLB, you see some stuff after the trade deadline too.
Yeah.
Things getting finalized. Like in the NFL, you usually, like you said it earlier, it all happens weeks before.
Exactly.
Like if Devontae Adams was traded today, or like Cooper,
you've got to
would've been so
pounce
exciting.
before. You've
Yeah.
got to.
and
But
that's
I
where the
think
Steelers went wrong.
where a team like the Steelers go is a team like the Jets are more desperate to trade like a guy like Mike Williams now because they're like, okay, he's not going to be signing with us. All right, we got to get rid of him. Basically, get rid of him, or he sits on our bench and rots. So I think that's where it comes into play, trading on trade deadline. But those star players, I think it's almost rare you see a star player be traded that had a lot of rumors of being traded. On the trade deadline, usually the day before, or, the week before. It's smarter, in my opinion.
I agree. I think it is the better decision to jump because that's what the Steelers did wrong. If there's anything they could take back, it was probably making a jump. Maybe if they wanted Ayuk so bad, maybe just doing it earlier. If they wanted
they tried their hardest. I think Ayuk, going back to this, I hate talking about this because it was just
I know I hate it too.
Disgusting all summer, but I think he just used us as kind of his leverage for the Niners. I don't think he ever really wanted to come to Pittsburgh. There might have been a chance, but I mean, you saw that picture. Every time the Steelers are traded for a wide receiver, there's always that picture of that guy in the airport.
Yeah,
and it's like the Steelers are Brandon Ayuk spotted, and
Someone did it with Cooper Kupp.
I saw that. Yeah, I think they should use that and be like, Mike Williams spotted in the Pittsburgh airport today.
Jeez, like Adam Thielen. I'm surprised Adam Thielen wasn't moved, but they moved Mingo.
Yeah,
you would think Thielen would get more. True. I guess the Cowboys just really liked them. Cowboys wanted Mingo really bad. I guess they wanted him in the draft.
Poor Thielen. He's got to get out of there.
I think he still has a year on his this is his last year on this deal, I think.
Free him. Why would he ever go to the Panthers? Why?
Hey, they won last week. Was that your upset pick of the week?
That was my upset pick of the week. That they've won. I have called the Panthers.
Keep picking them.
I've called their only victories. I've picked them twice, and they've won both times.
You got to pick them.
Pick of the week. Panthers fans, you're welcome. Honestly, you can repay me however you'd like. Jerseys, I like jerseys. Money, Venmo, Bitcoin.
4 more minutes. I don't think anything else is going to happen.
Yeah, probably nothing's going to happen. So after 4 minutes, I honestly think our StreamYard is going to stop at 2 hours, right?
Really?
I think we have a max of 2 hours per recording. So if that stops, then that's going to stop exactly when the deadline ends. So, but
oh my gosh,
I hope not. I hope not. I hope we don't.
We're going to find out together.
Yep. I'm just going to keep refreshing Adam Schefter here. How about Saquon Barkley's butt hurdle? Crazy.
Jeez.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. He spun and then just, the picture looks like he's pooping out the defender. He's backwards and he's just like, that's one of the coolest things. That's one of the coolest pictures ever. But like in the picture, you can't really tell it was backwards. Like you could, like if you just show this man like, oh, like he just cleared the defender. No, like he jumped backwards. It's just so hard to tell that he's actually jumping backwards.
What a pickup that was for the Eagles.
Oh yeah, that's
take one.
Yeah.
I guess while we wait, hopefully we don't get cut off. If we get cut off, we can just restart.
Yeah.
Who's your winner this trade deadline so far?
Commanders. I think they've made the best moves. They've made the best moves. The Steelers have made the most moves. So it's between the Steelers and the Commanders. I think the biggest losers have to be the Cowboys, right?
The Lions might be my winner.
Yeah, they made a really good move. Yeah.
They got a position of need.
Yeah.
Lions, Commanders, and Steelers.
I like that.
The 3. Cowboys are the losers just because of
Yeah.
Mingo. I don't
What a
get it. For a 4th round pick,
Yep.
that's a lot in the end. Like, you think 4th round pick, you're like, oh, that's not that much. It's a lot in the NFL. There's some gems in the 4th round. Usually wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really know what else you can do in that situation if you're a Cowboys fan. I don't know how you think of this. I think Jerry Jones just needs to retire.
Yeah.
I didn't know he'll be on my
Yeah.
list of people I don't like because I'm not really a Cowboys guy, but it's like
Cordell Patterson's been live tweeting too.
I
You've
know.
been seeing this.
he said he finally got his guy.
Yeah. I
like,
finally
"Let's
got
go."
me one. Yes, sir. Welcome, Mike Williams.
Well, he's been trying to get every single wide receiver
Yeah.
available.
He's
the
funny.
best part.
And my computer's frozen. Cool.
Oh,
Well, I might be cooked here. Well, I'm cooked.
you're cooked.
My computer's frozen on the picture of Cordell Patterson. Can you still see me?
Yeah, you're still moving.
Okay. Yeah, I can't.
You're
even,
good over there.
I can't get back on StreamYard.
The trade deadline has broken the streak.
It has broke me.
It has broke
Oh my
StreamYard.
God. Okay, well,
This is the longest stream that's
Yeah,
ever been done in the
I'm
history of the Final
cooked.
Whistle.
I'm cooked. My computer's frozen. I'm gonna try and close. Should I try and close my tab?
It's the longest one we've ever done. 3:59 p.m. NFL deadline. I don't know if anything else is going to happen. It doesn't look like it.
I'm so cooked.
Well, the stream might close in 20 seconds, and we're going to
Yeah,
test that
well,
theory.
We'll see. Trade deadline was a success, though. I wonder if the stream's gonna shut down.
Well,
Will it?
not. I'll see you in 5 seconds.
We'll see in 5 seconds. My
Oh.
computer's frozen, so I won't even know.
We lived.
No way. Okay.
We lived.
All right.
Well, you're still there talking. I still see you.
Yeah, I'm just completely frozen though. I think we're. Oh, nope. All right, I'm gonna try and close this tab. It might kick me. Nope.
Well, the deadline's passed. It's 4 o'clock.
Sure.
Nothing major.
Well, should we call it?
Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, might as well. I mean,
you were
nothing
only here for
happened
about 30
4 o'clock.
minutes.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Not really. I mean, kind of a little bit underwhelming. A little bit of an underwhelming deadline, but I'm just happy my Steelers had a very good deadline. But wish I would have saw more moves. Only about like 7 things happened, if that. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tre'Davious White goes down. It looks like he's the last trade. Only if something happens. Well, right, something's going to happen right when we turn this off, which is going to be funny. But yeah, it's been fun. I guess. What was your biggest move and worst move? I think
biggest
we both.
move's got to be Zadarius Smith. I mean, that's a Super Bowl caliber move, as well as the Commanders going out and getting who did they get?
Marshawn Lattimore.
Marshawn Lattimore. That's also another great move as well.
Yeah.
Great moves all around, except for Dallas. I think they was the only real losers of this deadline.
Yeah.
But besides that, really, really fun trade deadline.
Yeah, my awards are going best trade. I really like the Zadarius Smith one. Underrated trade. I'm gonna give it to Preston Smith.
Okay.
Steelers. I like that one with the depth.
Yeah.
Worst trade, Mingo for the Cowboys. Most confusing trade, Herbert for the Bengals.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. Just came
I
out of
agree.
nowhere this morning. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you
Yep.
all for joining in. I saw a couple people come on in. Saw the live go up to a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, thank you all for joining in. Trade Deadline Spectacular. If anything else happens, we'll be here on probably Thursday because I got to work a game. I'll be working Friday. But thank you all for watching. It's been fun, and we will see you next time.
We'll see you guys.